deeper. Oh, real talk, we gather round. Stories to unfold. Unique tips and laughter. Secrets to be told. Messy gossip flows like tea. Hide from each week. Living like we're shining bright. Our bond is why we sing the whole. Spill the tea. Just you and me. Laughing through the night. Smiling and free. Spill the tea. Just you and me. Laughing through the night.
Girl, did you hear what she did last summer? With her style and charm, she's been stunning. Flipping through gossip, the latest craze. Trying to cook, oh, how they dazzle they We keep it real, spilling the truth. In our circle of acquaintances, always from lipstick shades. So that's we sharing the vibe, feel the energetic breeze. Page by page, we turn our worlds. Sit still and strong, and life unfurled.
Hey, ladies and gents. Well, I called y'all Porch crew today. How's everybody doing? Happy all we do is win Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Sure, the struggle was real today after lunch. I didn't even eat heavy lunch today. I had like a drumstick and some vegetables. I was going down at work. I had to get my damn energy up to come up here and cut up with y'all. How's everyone doing? Let me speak to everybody in the chat. And y'all, I got a few porch topics that I want to talk about. We're gonna get into our Scamiana, our trap queen. Y'all saw the thumbnail. I told y'all on yesterday that we weren't gonna probably be talking about Nesto today, that we were taking it back to what we used to do in members. Okay, every Wednesday in members, we used to do a scam live where we talked about different scams going around, and it was fun. So even though we're not in members, we taking it back, okay, to the scam content on Wednesdays here on the front porch, period. Hey, Thirsty Rabbit. Hey, Miss Apple Pie. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Go get lost up in there. It's so much in there, uninterrupted content. You'll enjoy the membership. I think it's worth it. Hey, Jackson Tabasco. How are you doing today? Hey, Sherry with the Y. Hey, no, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about Essence Festival. I hope Vic to the Veil pop up in here and my other Dimples Wimples 504 girl, because we need to talk about Essence, because baby, them folks say, y'all African Americans, black folks, or however you refer to yourself, colored folks, we all one. We need to stick together. Hey, Karen. Hey, Muns. Hey, Beautifully Made 13. Hey, Tell the Truth. How are you? Hey, there she go. Hey, Cross Country Cruiser. How you doing? Hey, El Sid. I was over there. I was riding in my car, so I wasn't able to, speak to everybody. So I just did like a hey everybody in a heart. And I did let you guys know that I was driving home from work. So I wasn't able to participate in the chat, but I was listening. I was just listening like Nesto. Hey, B. Williams, you in the ATL, shawty? Hey, Tanya, be here. I saw you cutting up over there on my community wall. She already laughing because she know where I'm going at with that. Hey, Miss E, thank you so much for being here and monitoring me on today. I'm going to take full advantage while Bible study is out for the summer. Yes, please like the live. I appreciate it. Now I gotta wait till some of these new Louisiana lawless girls jump up in this damn chat. Cause I did not realize, and I've been to Essex, I know at least 3 times. I want to say 4, but I know for a fact I went 3 times. Okay. And I had a ball at Essex, but I have not been in, I think the last time I went was 2019, maybe before the pandemic, 2018. I don't think I've been since the pandemic. And I always have a ball at Essence, but I don't do local things in when I go doing Essence. I only do Essence events, which is the convention center, the concerts. Y'all know I have to go to the concerts because I love the music. Depending on what the lineup is, I'll go on Friday and Saturday. I never go on Sunday because on Sunday I'm going home. And it's kind of like a, the Frankie Beverly, like a more of a chill vibe, right? Um I think I went to the mall. I was trying to think if I did anything local. And there's so many events during Essence. When it's Essence related events, I don't have time to like really soak up the culture, go to some of the restaurants because the lines are so long. We was eating on the go because we had itinerary and it was like, Charles, go shower and meet back in the lobby. And we just would grab something like at Popeyes. Like we wasn't there to eat, but I definitely need to go back to Louisiana just for the culture, period. We did go on Bourbon Street. We did do that, but I feel like that's like the only like local thing that we did. Everything was Essence. Like we went to Toya, had an all-white party. We went to that. The convention center. There's events going on all there for free 99, but they also have like private events that you could pay for as well. Um, we were just doing things like that. But baby, I did not know that they had sold the Essence brand to this Liberian man, and the black folk ain't happy. And I had no idea. They said the numbers are down. Um, but why everybody think that we are the saviors? Like, why we gotta be super saved or race? Okay, why they always depending on us? Hell, we want to depend on somebody some damn times. Can you give us a shoulder to lean on? Okay, I love going to Essence One Stop Shop. Good food, good music, and good people. I want to go, but they not Essencing no more in that way. The way they used to. That's what I heard, and I had no idea. That's why I'm calling out Vic to the Veil. No, and Dimples Wimples 504 girl, because I had to see them Africans going off on us. And I'm like, wait one motherfucking minute. We sick of saving everybody. Who is somebody gonna save us? That's all I'm saying. They got other places in Louisiana besides Noya. Yeah, but when I go, it's Essence is in New Orleans. And that's why I said I'm only going for S's, but tourist. We burn our cape. Yeah, baby, it's burnt, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. I know that's right. They say, okay, we all just get along. Why can't y'all support us? Hell, who the hell support us? We tired, boss. And shit, when y'all come over here, y'all don't even claim us. But now we African Americans and they're Africans and we need to hold hands and get along. No, we tied. Shit. The hell. Yeah, I'm like, leave us alone. I need to get my screen up. We'll revisit that if Vic to the Veil or Dimples Wimples pop up in here, because I would love to know you guys that are actually from that area, perspective. I know Vicky was up here and she was telling me like it's not the same anyway since Frankie Beverly is no longer amongst us. So we'll revisit. Hey LK, thank you so much for dropping out the bushes tonight. I appreciate it. Come out the bushes, girl. Get in a rocket chair. Okay, they look down on us, right? They only want us for a green card. I used to go with a man from Nigeria, and his own father told me that. Right, right. And they frown upon just like regular business degrees and stuff like that, baby. They say if it ain't certification coming behind it, that's like a high school diploma. Okay, allegedly. Okay, so you need to have a CPA, a MD, a PhD, something behind that degree for it to even count. Okay. Hey, Nestor, Shaka, Shuffle, Walker, Shane. I'm taking advantage of you and Miss E. While y'all churches. No, I'm just cutting up. While y'all are on pause with Bible study. Y'all know my mods be at church praying for me because I'll be up here cutting up. Hey, Chick-fil-A gal, just in time. Come on in. Everyone, please like the live. We visited a trap queen today. They don't claim us and want us to sing Kumbaya. With them, get the F out of here. Baby, they said they had all their flags up there, S's. I said, Charles, they said we couldn't even get our flag up there, child. I said, Charles, they'll put the damn General Lee up there before they put us up there. Yeah, and I had no idea. I thought people weren't going because of Target, some of the sponsors, because Walmart, Target, a lot of the big Coca-Cola, they sponsor well, in the past, they sponsored a big part of Essence, right? And people are boycotting Target, in certain brands, right? They're right. So that's why I thought the numbers was low. But baby, I've been educated. I've been educated on what the hell been going on. And they says a lot of TikTok has been blowing up, trending. And baby, them Liberians, baby, them Nicaraguans, baby, they's coming for us. Sure. I told them I came over here on the damn Mayflower, baby, the Centipania. I don't know what part of Africa I'm from. Hey, always loving life 804. My big sis, I said what I said. Cocoa cream. Y'all know I gotta throw something up in there. I came up here with the pilgrim child. I don't know. Last time I checked here, they saw us over here. So what the hell y'all want us to say? I'm gonna leave it like that, y'all, because I'll sit up here and joke about this if somebody may get mad for real, for real. But I'm just saying. Hey, JJ, Jalen Jones, good afternoon to you. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Please like live. Let's get into our content. It was something else I wanted to talk shit about, though. Sure. What you talking about, Willis? Gary Coleman. Did that woman unalive little Willis, little Gary? I put it over there on my community post that y'all been cutting up over there. Hey, Georgia Peach. Hey, what? I thought it was because of them blocking the black local business last year. And that has been an issue in the past because I believe it's Coca-Cola. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was a huge Essence sponsor, and when Essence was there, they didn't want you to be drinking no Pepsi Cola, baby, no peach check from Winn Dixie. The you could only sell Coca-Cola in those restaurants, in those venues, and that's, to me, that's not right. That's not right. But that was an issue years ago. But baby, I didn't know. I thought that's when it happened. Baby, I didn't even know. I'm over here talking about Mia X and Master P, having their issues with Master P not wanting to pay Mia X, I know that Master P don't do promotion. So whomever was promoting for Essence was promoting artists that weren't signed, contract, or paid to be there. Mia X was one, and she spoke out, to let her fans know, if you were coming expecting to see me, the money not right, the business wasn't right, P ain't right, so Mama ain't gonna be there, C ain't gonna be there, Mystica ain't gonna be there, Feed ain't gonna be there. If you know the song, it say Mama there, P there, everybody there. Baby, they weren't gonna be there. And they wanted to let fans know if they was traveling there, and thought they were going to see a full No Limit Soldier reunion, that they weren't. They didn't want their fans, people that was actually coming there to see them, be disappointed, because it just wasn't going to happen. So I was hooked on that part. The other part went over my head until today. I thought she unalived him when it happened. Baby, they gave her a lie detector test over there, and the lie detector said, "You's a liar." She did not pass it. Yeah, Mystica is still locked up. We talked about him on his second or third great related charge. He's still locked up. And see, we talked about that, but I did not know about this Essence being purchased by, these Africans, and they changing the culture. I didn't know none of that was going on until today. Second great charge, same woman. How's the same woman? Girl, okay. Let me get my video up. Is this it? Oh, here we go. Girl, I did not know it was the same person. Wow. All those years? Oh my God. Not that it didn't matter, but that just took me off guard. Hmm. What y'all think about Dwight Howard and this woman? Shit, I forgot her damn name. Sure. Old girl said she can't do it. She thought she could do something strange for the change, and strap up and get down and dirty with a freak off. Oh, Amy, that is her name, child. Black woman named Amy, and spelled like that. Okay. She thought she was gonna be able to do something strange for the change and strap up and get down and dirty with Boo Boo Kitty and Dwight, but she said, hell no. After 4 months of marriage, get some damn body else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. I got plenty money. Oh, I got plenty money. I got plenty money. I couldn't get the beat right, Miss E. What's in my pocket, dog? Big face hundreds. Y'all know I like my trap music. Thank you, B. Williams. Hey, let's talk about it all. It's not the same one. The other one was his stylist. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. Baby, she said, get somebody else to do it. B, I can't do it. I thought I could be a beard, for pay. But sure, no. And give me half of your assets, even though I wasn't in the damn gym with you, okay? Amy look like a dude, and Dwight likes dudes. That's why I said Boo Boo Kitty. and strap up. He said, I got the Diddy special, the baby oil special. Flip it, rub it down with the baby oil. Amy said, hell no, I can't do it. That's what happened when you are a beard in the marriage agreeably, allegedly. Oh, sorry, Shay. It sounded like the same woman second time around. We may have to pull the documents, Jewel. Amy from Detroit, I knew it wasn't gonna work. Shit, it was. I would have listen, London. Just give me another spot. You know, we ain't even gotta live in the same house, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just show up like Nesto, smile, nod, and wave. Okay. I wouldn't even be saying nothing. My job just to look good. I'll be touching on him, rubbing on his shoulder, acting like I'm so in love, baby. And when we go home, sure, drop me off. Drop me off. I'll see you the next event. I hope they got a prenup. Elle said this is a random fan who the rumor mill says she slept with him and then told the man she got great. Vic to the veil. I was hollering for you. That was a fake marriage. I said it from the start. Hey, April B. Okay. I don't understand him snatching cookies. Me too fine for all that. Baby, to be like Dennis Rodman and be free, baby. Dennis had piercing, dresses on. Man, he the first ninja I see that's a celebrity. You know, just do what the hell they want to do. Go talk to Dennis Rodman. Avery said she was mad. He asked for a prenup, baby. Now she won't have the man shit. Girl, who gonna get you? You weren't even married long enough. Especially when you walk in with your, oh Lord, your ping eggplant in your hand. Would they have happened to have on her job? Because they say Diddy was over there wrapped up like he was for Indian woman. He ain't have another baby oil. Well, anywho, let's get into our content of today. All his tea spilled out during the panty, Lady T-Bug. I was saying mystical fine, not Dwight. Oh, baby, I was wondering who you was talking about. Because we got our third eye on Dwight. She tried to keep a storyline, sure. In his hand means mystical lyric. Oh, you know, God, that one went over here, Elle said. But anywho, y'all keep chatting up. Vic to the veil. I need your opinion on Essence and how these Africans trying to comfort us. Okay. They said, y'all, we African American, they claiming us now. And they say we all should just get along and we should support them, even though they ain't supporting us. Okay. Let me know how you feel about Essence. I did not know Essence had been sold. I did not know that this was going on. I thought, as the chat, this was about the sponsors such as Coca-Cola, Target, Walmart, some of the ones that support the Orange Man and got rid of DEI. That's what I thought this was about. I didn't know we was beefing with the Africans. April Bree said, right. Hey, Sassy Sue. They don't like us, baby. I told y'all. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. We gonna move on to today's content. And this just in time. This is just in time. I'll make, we'll talk about that a little later on. Okay. So as I stated earlier, on Wednesdays, we used to do our scam content, or remember something a little different from what we was doing here on the front porch with everybody, right? We bringing it back on Wednesdays, but right now I think it's just gonna be on the front porch until I drop all my Nestos content up in there. Okay. But this lovely lady that you see up here on the screen, baby, she represent Florida. She a flow rider. She a city girl from Drop City. Okay. And I mean drop, that means drop city, where they drop their TT, the TurboTax drops, where that tax money drop. That's where the name comes from. If you're wondering, drop city is when they get them drops, okay? From the tax money. I see y'all in the chat. You driving and listen complicated, be careful. Sure. Tampa, Florida, y'all. Where my girl at? Where Florida 8133 at? Miss E, you represent 813 Tampa, Florida. Kaya represents the 813. Miss Kane Wayne with it. Dolce is from Tampa as well. But okay. Drop City, aka Tampa, Florida. They say y'all are the biggest tax scamming city on this side of the Gulf of America. They say, oh, taxes is y'all game down there. Okay. So this is Rashia Wilson, y'all. She may be familiar if you watch BET Plus. Then I believe it goes over to BET. First Lady of Tax Fraud. Trap Queen. Okay. And what I was going to say, this is just in time because Trap Queen will be returning to BET Plus on tomorrow. I cannot wait. Okay. I will be watching Trap Queens and I will be watching Divorce Sisters. But okay, back to Rashia Wilson. So if she looks familiar, that is why. Hey, Miss Boogie Down. Hey, Sassy Sue. She did her big one, and we about to talk about it. And I do have some documents. I have a video that we're gonna watch and react to, of course. And y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it over here. I ain't gotta go too deep into that. But Rashia, Miss Florida Wilson, also known as First Lady of Tax Fraud. They say she ain't met a damn H&R Block that she ain't been up in. Okay, she's from Tampa, Florida. She grew up poor, from another project chick like myself. I believe she's named. I've watched quite a few documentaries with her, a few West Tampa project housing, Ponce de Leon project housing is a few that I've heard her mention. I have not, been to either of those. They probably not there anymore. They probably done did the regentrification. But anywho, her mom had 7 girls. Rashia is one. Her mom, and when she was growing up, her mom had an addiction to crack cocaine. Her dad was abusive. He was in prison, and she said that her dad had he went to prison when she was 2 years old. While he was in prison, he caught a attempted unaliving charge, which they tacked 15 years onto his sentence. Okay, so that's just a little background about her upbringing, her parents, her siblings. Sis dropped out in the 7th grade at the age of 14. She was diagnosed with bipolar. I'm reading through my notes, y'all. And from there, that's kind of like where her crime life began, because she wasn't able to make it in school, probably because she had went so long without being diagnosed, and she just eventually dropped out. She probably struggled in school, not sure. She didn't really go that deep into it. She just said she dropped out in the 7th grade. At 13, she started, that's when she really started her life of crime. She started out doing petty crimes. And as you know, most criminals do, they start out doing, small petty things, and then they become, more bolder. They, hook up with different people, and then they, graduate to, the big leagues, which Rashia did. Okay. She started out stealing, from the malls, like stores like Old Navy. Then she started stealing rental cars. She didn't really go into details. I watched so many documentaries because y'all know I like to do my research. So when I come on the porch, I can give y'all as much information as I can. But she started stealing rental cars from the airport. Y'all know back in the day, at the airport, they used to leave those keys in those cars. And she somehow found this out. She started stealing the cars, renting them out to the dope boys. And that was one of her scams growing up. She said she would put up to like the teen venues, like we would say the skating ring, teen parties, driving these cars that she had stolen from the airport rental car section. From there, she went into check cashing scams where people would print and make checks, and then you will go cash them, at local places like the grocery store, different stores that, cash checks. From there, she went to prostituting, selling that meow, and eventually she made it to the big leagues. Tax fraud. Okay. Um, to go back to when she was 14, hustling, a girl from the hood, a girl in the projects. She eventually got caught. She had to sit down in the juvenile detention center, and she found out she was pregnant with her first kid while she was locked up in juvenile. And because her mom was addicted to the crack cocaine, they became homeless. So that was one of the reasons that she was out here. I think I will say, I'm not her, but I would say I feel like that's probably what pushed her, because she didn't have a mom that was, trying to help her with her mental health, her education, or have a roof over her head. So I feel like that was one reason she was going so hard, because she had siblings. She wanted to be able to take care of everyone. And they were homeless because her mom couldn't keep a roof over their head because she was on, she was on that stuff. But after she became, she found out she was pregnant, she did, like, I think she said she did about 8 months in the juvenile detention center. She did not have her baby in the juvenile detention center. She had her baby afterwards when she got out, but it was like shortly after she was released from juvenile. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat before I move on. See if y'all got any questions. Y'all way up here. Where's my Tampa sis at in the chat? I have not seen her yet. You love Kaya? Can't wait with it. Yep, I was living here during the season. That's when I first found out about BBLs. Okay, Miss E. Sassy Sue. Okay, I think I spoke to y'all. I can't wait for me either. Me either. I got 2 shows to watch now. Tax fraud. Was she a Cynthia friend? I don't know. Was Cynthia doing tax fraud? 7th grade buckwheat niece. Yeah, that's pretty. Dropping out is, at that age, in that environment, in the hood, pretty common, unfortunately. Take your time, sister. Take your time. She wanted to focus on making money because she was pregnant around that same time. That's correct, Miss E. When she got out, she said it wasn't about her anymore. She had to, go harder. She had to grind and hustle harder because it wasn't about her anymore. She had a child. She wanted to provide for her kid. She didn't have support, from family or especially her mom, and her dad was in prison. Oh, them long-term parkers at the airport. And this is back in 2000, I'll say maybe around 2004-ish. I had a friend who used to get those rental cars. We all had a car for Texas Freaknik. Yes, honey. Listen, when I was doing research and watching all these different news articles and social media, posting these documentaries, baby, I was like, oh, this could have been me. Well, not well, I didn't have the same. My mom wasn't on drugs. I've never been homeless, but I did grow up in the hood in the project. So I'm like, dang, girl, I got a different story, but same environment. She sounds like my ex-sister-in-law. Yeah, same environment. Education is poor there. People don't really push, going to school. Everybody's hanging out. Crazy. Scroll back. What else? Let me get into it. Miss E, can you give her the name? Okay. So she got out, she's pregnant, she trying to hustle, she grinding. She went from stealing the cars because she was like, she wasn't stealing no more out them stores or the cars. She wanted to find her a new hustle. So her new hustle was, and that's when she became first lady because they took her first lady and put it with the tax fraud. But that is kind of when she started her first lady club promoting business, and she will be promoting like teen events, like at the armory, the skating ring. She'll rent out a venue and throw these teen parties. She said, during those teen parties that she would sometimes make like $1,000. But again, she's 14 years old, so $1,000, for a party for a 14-year-old back then was pretty decent money, especially when you don't have anyone else. But as you know, the more money you make, the more money you want. And when people see you out there hustling, you attract the same type of people. And just to mention a few people, as she upgraded her business and she became an adult, she was doing big promotions like for rappers like Plies. She said she made like $100,000 during the Plies event that she put on down there. And I have a picture in our video to show y'all her applies at the actual event. I think Miss Email mentioned it in the chat earlier. So once she started making money, legal money, she could not stop the illegal activities. They're gonna Tampa, Florida girl 813, Miss E was looking for you. But once she started making money the legal way, she still could not let go, of the illegal activities as well. She said she was tricking because remember I told y'all she was a prostitute as well, with NBA players, NFL players. She had a sheriff on her team, and she said that she would travel like to different events like Daytona Beach, Freaknik, Miami, Memorial Weekend. She will always go to like big events and she will make money there as well. She'll make sometimes like $4,000 or $5,000 a weekend, but again, for a girl from the hood with no education, seventh grade education, that was money for her. And again, she became addicted. Like Miss E mentioned BBL, she got her body done. She was wearing luxury, items, jewelry. You know, her cars was upgraded. She was living a life, y'all. She was living a life, I must say. But we'll get a little bit more into the tax scam. I want to show y'all my video. And then we got to talk about how she got caught. I think Miss E handled that for me. Okay. Okay. I ain't mad at you, sis. I didn't know when I was younger that all the people I worked with were scammers. I thought everything they did was legal until they got arrested. And that's what she was saying, which we'll go into it a little bit more, Vicky. But to piggyback off what you're saying, when she transitioned into doing the tax scam, the people that she had working with her that was involved in the scam with her were doctors, were people that worked at the post office. You know, it was people that worked at the DMV. It was people that were in places, you know, that you would never think of, and if the things that they were helping her to do so she can upgrade and become this big time scammer was crazy. I'm like, what? So you never know, Vic. You never know. Hey, Bible lady, you in the gym? Had me in the chokehold, but I'm late. Okay. And the more, yes, and that's another thing, April B. She was like at one point, she was bringing in $100,000 a day. She would have cards with $100,000 on them. But if she went to the mall or she bought a car or bought jewelry, whatever she spent, she was scamming immediately afterwards to replace that money. So if she spent 50,000, oh, I got to make that 50 back. If that makes sense. Tampa here, y'all. I'm not a scammer. But this was in the early 2000s, guys. And I believe she went to prison in 2012. Okay. I did some activities back in the day, and I swear nothing bought with that money lasts. Easy come, easy go. I used to work in the mall, and the scammers would come and sell us out. Baby, did they have them damn TurboTax cards and those H&R Block cards? Because she talked about those cards and how they were doing things back then. Dang, this girl got a lot going on. Yeah, she did have a lot going on. They would come in with different credit cards. Oh, I should have just waited with other people's name on it and the owner approved. So swap. Baby, they can't tap. They weren't tapping back then, Miss E. Hey, Nola. I was attending USF, worked at University Mall. Shoe connection, baby. Take that up out of here. Somebody maybe the fans may be listening and watching. Yes, they did. Hustler. Yeah, she definitely was hustling and guidance, no parental. Does not seem like she had a huge family presence, so all that makes a difference. And she had a mental she has, because she's still alive. She has a mental disability. She's bipolar. So she had a lot going on. But I will say she's highly intelligent to have all this going on and have a 7th grade education and pull off the elaborate scheme that she pulled off with this tax fraud. She could have just stayed in school. Hey, Tamara. All right, y'all, let's get into the video. There is some parts in the video where like the news coverage, you will hear the news anchor speaking, and there's another part of the video where you will hear others talking, but for the most part there's no speaking. So don't think that when I'm playing it that it's not working. So this is, and what I did was I just went through different social media platforms like I do not really with Nesto. I really don't do it with Nesto, so I'm not even gonna lie. But when I do cover some other topics, I'll go and just piece stuff together so you guys can have a visual. That's what I did with this. And I just got different pictures of her during the time, you know, pre 2012 of her, so y'all can see her lifestyle, what she looked like, how rich bitch she was looking. Oh wow, you know, getting illegal money. Because baby, drugs was over with, you know, at this point. It was the drops for me. So this is just her. This is her. This is her with different money. She did used to do club promoting. So some of these pictures may be just for club events. I don't know. Well, baby, all I see is stacks on stacks on stacks, racks on racks on racks. Can we go to the next video, please? There she go. Uh-oh. Look at her. Look at her with a nameplate. Fancy jewelry. That's a little promo from Trap Queens BET special. And she did become a millionaire, guys, doing this tax fraud. Picture of her in jail. Mystical. We were just talking about Mystical. I forgot. She got on her No Limit Soldier gear. Put y'all on my phone because I'm over on I went outside the StreamYard. This is her judge. Uh-oh. Miss E, there you go. This is the judge right here that sentenced her to 21 years in prison. He actually retired while she was in prison, but he vowed to come back and put his robe on. Okay, every time she was up for parole, because he could not believe a illiterate 7th grade dropout could make this type of money. Okay, and that's me saying it nicely. You know, he said it in his way, and I'm saying it in my way. So he lived up to that until he couldn't. There you go, Miss E. This is Plies for the ones that do not know. Miss Busset, baby. And this is the event that she said she made the most off of promoting down in Tampa. She made like 100,000 off of this event. She cleared 100,000 after throwing the event, paying Plies his fees, you know, covering the bar and all those things. But they look cozy. She said she was getting them mans. That's a little clip from that I found. Hey, Bank. Okay. It's a Friday Plies, baby.
49
Update now on the queen of tax fraud. She stole millions from taxpayers, blew it on parties, cars, and TVs, and then bragged about it in pictures like this on Facebook. Well, she's paying for it now. Fox 13's Gloria Gomez was there when she was sentenced today. What happened, Gloria?
Well, keep in mind that Wilson actually pled guilty to tax fraud back in April, and she thought the judge would cut her some slack, but the judge had other plans.
Okay, just real quick, like, she did have a paid attorney. She paid her attorney, I want to say, about $75,000. So she was not like a lot of criminals. When she got arrested, she didn't have money to get her a paid attorney. Her attorney told her that he would it would be better if she just pled guilty, put herself at the mercy of the court, and that she probably would not get no more than 5 years. 5 years, y'all. None of this was written down. She didn't have an ex parte with the judge or anything. So she believed her attorney. And baby, it did not happen in that manner.
Showing deep regret, the self-proclaimed queen of tax fraud apologized to the judge, her victims, and her family for the poor decisions she's made in her life. Rashia Wilson pleaded guilty to tax fraud in April, and at her sentencing today, her defense attorney asked for a more lenient sentence. He called a psychologist to the stand who said Wilson was bipolar and explained her troubled past, starting at birth.
You weren't aware of her mental health history. You weren't aware that her mother gave birth to her while on crack cocaine.
But that's what you should have presented, sir. She paid you good money. So you keep talking about they weren't aware. That's what you should have been working out. And you should have had her to sign a plea deal.
Weren't aware that she was forced to essentially become an adult at age 12, that she had her first child at age 14, that she often didn't know where she was going to sleep at night.
But the government reminded the judge, Wilson, who had a sixth grade education, was able to rip off taxpayers out of millions of dollars. She did it, they say, by filing bogus tax returns, even as she collected food stamps.
That's what it's giving.
She blew it on jewelry, cars, and trips, and bragged about it on Facebook, where she even challenged police to arrest her. And they did in September of last year. After 2 hours of arguments in a packed courtroom filled with Wilson's family, the judge showed no mercy and slapped Wilson with 21 years in prison. The judge said Wilson...
Yeah, her attorney advised her it would just be easy. You were caught. They got a lot of evidence. Just plead guilty. Put yourself at the mercy of the court. And the judge gave her the max, 21 years in prison. I would have turned around and slapped the shit out of him.
Knew right from wrong, and in a calculated manner, stole over $3 million from the government. Wilson's uncle was deeply disappointed, but accepted the tough sentence.
She was just really interested in her family, doing good by them, but she broke the law. I feel bad for her. 28 years is a long time.
Now, I can tell you that Wilson's family members were in court, including her children, and she asked the judge if she could just hug them one last time.
What y'all think the judge said when she turned around, had to pull herself together and asked if she could just hug her kids one more time? What y'all think the judge said? Dumb mistakes for showing stuff on Facebook. I'll come back to that, LaToya. Don't let me forget. She should go back and say ineffective counsel, 21 years for $3 million. That's crazy. Yes, and there was another case in Tampa with the same judge. Of course, it was a clear person, and they did baby double digits millions. And baby, they got out. They got like a few years in probation. Okay, but he threw the book at her. He actually was appalled that a middle school dropout from the hood was intelligent. Okay, and that's my words. Okay, judge said hell no. Miss E on. Judge said no. He probably said no. Okay, let me guess. They graduated from college. No to the no to the no. And he said no.
Before she went off to prison, the judge said no. The U.S. Marshals would not allow it. They can't break the rules for her. So another crushing blow to her as she went off to prison. Back to you.
At least Gloria sounded a little compassionate, baby. And again, I told y'all she grew up in the project, so I went and got some clips from the different projects down in Tampa, Florida, just so y'all could just get a visual, of the housing projects down there. I think that they're no longer there due to gentrification. Miss E, Florida girl, do y'all know? I ain't do that much research, but I'm pretty sure they're probably not there anymore. Dumpster. Okay, here's some of her mug shots. By the time she was arrested, for this tax fraud where she got this 21-year sentence. Y'all, she had been arrested over 40 times. And I already gave y'all a rundown of her major crimes that she, had been in and out of jail since juvenile. So these are some of her mug shots. This is the lady that played her in the movie, in the documentary. She had her change org petition up there too, talking about the judge and how he vowed, just to keep her in there forever, ever, forever, ever. Florida's a place where they still think ninjas are not intelligent and can be self-sufficient. I was talking about the clear person. Oh, okay. Who was her raggedy attorney? I didn't get his name, but I can get it.
Everybody, this your girl Rashia, better known as the First Lady. I want to shout out Lockdown Publications. Make sure y'all grab that book, The Life of a Hood Star, What Go Up Must Come Down, in stores soon. Make sure y'all get that. It's going to be a must read. A true story based on my life, a story that y'all been waiting on. Grab that ASAP.
All right, let them know how you doing in there. You still holding things down?
I'm still holding it down. I'm chilling. I'm over here in Dublin, California. Just got here. Hey, man. This your girl, First Lady. This just a little something, a little sneak peek to what I got coming out soon. I sit back and I think about how all the women was manipulated by the guards over there at Dublin FCI, man. It hurt me so bad that I know that everybody else is hurting. I can't give you everything, but I got an album coming out soon. Y'all make sure y'all support. Hit my IG on 1STLady_ENT. I'm out. Fuck the feds.
Run to your mama. Act like you miss her, girl. Girl, hug your mama, girl. What?
You so happy. I bet you liar. You knew they was coming to pick me up.
Don't permanent pose. That's not a grill. Don't permanent.
13 years straight up out the fans. Look, you crying. Oh, yes, y'all got the. Oh, bitch, we turning up. Come give me some hugs too, bitch. Hello. Yeah.
Not the Cleo braids. My girl got the Cleo braids.
Come on, we on the time.
I was gonna throw that ass in the circle, but I couldn't.
Come on, bitch.
I got your things. You gotta get so I gotta make
you is.
Bye, Miss Robinson.
My boy's gone. I've been turning up all weekend. Hold it.
Look at him.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. Get in the back seat with them. Get in the middle, girl.
Put this in the trunk, bitch.
Girl,
Wait till you see my robe that say First Lady.
Everybody crying.
She gonna make me cry. This my niece. She didn't know I was coming. My old sister about to walk through the door. She still don't know I'm home yet. So I'm about to surprise her right now. So okay, she can stay tuned. She can coming first. Yeah, she gonna come out. When my mama comes, I'm gonna cry bad.
I'm crying.
Come on, Mom.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
You everybody, if you don't know the females that been to prison, that's that's why Cleo had the jailhouse braids. That's after set it off, people was calling them the Cleo braids, but you can't get your hair done. You can't have weave perms. So most people just braid their hair back the best they can. And when the lady before her, she had a stocking cap on. She was getting her hair done. Now she actually has her wig on. Okay, that's the end of my first video. Okay, put that up until I get to my next video. Let me see. Did y'all have any? I was highlighting y'all questions. Oh, I thought when you do fed time, you have to do every day. Your sentence is 85%, but she was able to use 2 programs. She had to go around the system, right? She had to work around the system, baby, because the judge, of course, was gonna make sure she did every damn day she could do in there. But they had 2 programs that she was able to take advantage of, in which the judge could not, stop her, from being eligible for those programs. And that's how she got out in 12 years instead of the 21 years that she had. One was called the young. Dang, did I put it in my notes? It was called the youth offenders, and it's for individuals that are arrested like in their early 20s. They knocked time off from that. And then it was another one. She actually was able to take advantage of 2 different programs. And like I said, the judge wasn't able to he wasn't able to, overrule those programs because she was eligible. She met the criteria. And dang, I didn't write them down. I'll try to get the name of them by the end of this live. Because he said even though he was retired, he was gonna come off the bench. So she had to find a workaround, and she did. Okay, let me get my next video up, and then I'm gonna give y'all some more information about her scams, scamming life, baby, the fraud life. Hold on. Okay. Hey, Linda. Happy Wednesday to you as well. I have to get the names of the program. I know one was like a youth program, and the other was another type of program, but I cannot remember the name because when I was watching some of her content, doing my research and watching other people that did documentaries on her, they were listed in there, but I guess I didn't put them down because I don't see them. See them in my notes. Yeah. She got her. And one thing I say about her family, they love her. Her and okay. I see y'all comments, but child, I need a break from that stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Okay. So I told y'all about her thug life, her trap queen life, and I didn't really give y'all like the breakdown of the time. I just told y'all, just how some of the crimes that she committed. She went to jail for the big crimes, what I felt, the stealing, the rental car scam she had going on, the check cashing scam, the prostituting, and then the tax fraud. But that was all throughout, the time from 13 until she got arrested. I believe she was arrested when she was 26. So that was like kind of over at least a 10-year span. She was just into different crimes. I didn't really break it down like, okay, she was doing this from this age to that age, just to let you guys know. Me too, Bible lady. You love to switch up. Yeah. Good evening. Hey, let's talk about it all. Me too. Okay, now let's get into this tax scamming. How she, got into the business and how she got caught. We're gonna get into that part, and then we have another video that we're gonna watch, and it is an interview with her, with a local DJ from Tampa. Keeping it Florida all the way around. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this old school hood. That's why I was like, dang, this could have been me. Different kind of background, but same environment. Same environment. Like, golly. I know a lot of my friends, girls, that, have been to prison. I had to separate myself, when I left the hood, I wasn't going back. So that was my motivation. Child, I gotta go to school. I gotta get me a job. This can't be the life the good Lord have for me. She needs to be sat down. She needed somebody in her life to nurture her. Like we have people in our life to nurture us. If it's not a mom, it's a grandma, aunt, or just someone. All kin folks ain't blood related. That's what she needed, and she didn't have that. And it's the difference when you homeless, you hungry, and I've never been homeless. I've never been hungry. I've always had stable shoot. I went to the same elementary school, the same middle school, and the same high school. So I had a pretty stable life, even though part of my life growing up, we did live in the projects. We did live in the hood. But although I lived in the hood, I had a parent that was nurturing, that was parenting, that had rules, and I went to school, and I had to be in the house by the time the porch light came on, and I had to be visible so my mom could see me. And then I eventually had my one little sister, so I would, be doing things with her, helping my mom out because I'm much older than her. And that, my mom eventually moved us out of project. She purchased a home, so it was a little different for me. But if you live in the hood, in the actual projects, not because sometimes you can live in the hood, outside the hood, in a house. But when you live in the projects, it's a lot of temptation, and it's a lot of people making easy money, and it's a lot of people that don't care about education. You gotta have that. You gotta have that in you, or you gotta have the people in your family, your support system. And she didn't have that. Her mom's on crack. Nesto Shiny Trumpet, Hood Bougie. I get why she chose the path she chose, but she, to me, is so intelligent. She's so smart. I feel like she could have been successful, staying on the right side of the law. Okay, now let's get into how she got into the tax scamming. Because Lady T-Bub been combing these streets, baby, doing research. And this is what she has explained in different interviews. I got the documents, I got the paperwork, and she was first introduced into the tax scamming, is what I'll call it, is a lady in the hood, in the projects. She described the lady as living in the projects with a Range Rover. Okay. And she is what I'm going to call her the tax lady. Okay. The tax lady would do taxes for everybody in the hood. But her scamming part of it came in with people that actually did not have income, right? And back in the day, I don't know how it is now, but back in the day, and I didn't do no tax research, but when I explain it, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. You could have a certain income that you could report, you know, without having a 1099, a W-2, W-4 form, but it couldn't exceed that certain dollar amount, but you could claim it as, you know, being self-employed. I don't know what that monetary milestone is, because that ain't something I'm looking to do. I don't need to know that in my brain. So that is what the tax lady was doing. She would get people and say they do hair, they had their own cleaning business, their own car wash, to give them some income so they could get taxes back. And she would charge them $1,000, you know, whatever they got, you know, if they had their 2 dependents, she'll do all the paperwork for them, charge them $1,000, and give them they coins, and they will go on about their business. Well, Rashida said she had been going through Rashia said she had been, you know, going to the tax lady for a little minute. But what the tax lady ended up doing was giving her all her documentation. And Rashia, being the intelligent 7th grade education person that she is, she read the paperwork. She went through the documents, and she said, hell, I can do this, and I'm gonna charge less. I'm gonna charge $500. So she undermined the tax lady with her own business model, right? She said her first customer was her sister. She tried it out, it worked, and the rest is history. My dad used to drive a bus on the weekend, and he got the hood route because the clear boys were too scared to go in. Hey, I don't blame them. I wish I knew about her back then. I would have no student loan debt. I had a hair braider who used that loophole back in the day. This is early 2000s. I did my taxes like that for a couple of years. I know some people that did their taxes like that too. So when she was explaining it, I'm acting like she's sitting here in front of me like, oh, okay, yeah. Because I knew exactly what she was talking about, right? And again, I don't know the monetary milestone. I don't know if it's 10,000, 8,000. I don't know what it is. Lady T-Bud don't need to know that, because I don't live the hood life no more. I done graduated. And I was like, dang, this could have been me. You know, it was some of my friends, but not me. Fortunately for me, okay? So y'all, she put the tax lady out of business, right? Because now she got some competition. Oh, that's what it was. My mom beat the skin off me eating M&Ms in the store. That stopped me right in my track. Well, that's a good thing her mom was on crack, honey, and they was homeless. I know a few people that used to do taxes like that. I was a babysitter. Wink, wink. Okay, so that's how she initially got into the tax scamming, right? So that became, you know, her first tax hustle. And as you know, time went on, like criminals like to do, they, you know, they upgrade, they level up. Okay, they get more. They want more. They want more. And that is what she did. So she went from there. And then she ran out of people in the hood, right? You ran out of people in the hood. You ran out of clientele. So she's like, dang, how can I get, you know, some more clients? So then she moved on to doing the hood taxes, is what I wrote down, with homeless people. She would go find homeless people, get their information, give them the $500 and keep the rest. Okay. So initially she was having them to pay her the $500, but now she's going out recruiting homeless people. She giving them, what she want to give them, and she's keeping the rest. Okay, they will give her their social, all their identification information. She will file the taxes and she will give them the money. Okay, whatever their cut was, whatever she decided, their cut was, because different time frames and in different research I've done, she was charging different things at different points. Okay. So she ran the test, laid out a business. She came up with her own business model. She making money. Sis is making money. And she's also doing her club promoting. Okay. So after the homeless people, baby, she graduated to doing deceased people taxes. She also was doing railroad retirees tax scam. She graduated to dividends and to W-2s. And them damn W-2s is where she got caught up at. I know some folks who would claim their student loans grants as income and then get earned income credit. They will run it up on returns. Well, dang. Listen, Londo, listen. Okay, so connects. Vic was I think it was Vicky earlier on in the chat that kind of mentioned something about this. I think it was Vic to the Veil, but y'all, her connections after she, started dealing with the homeless people, and she was dealing with people in the hood. She ran out of people in the hood. She moved on to homeless people. After she ran out of homeless people, she was doing deceased people. I got to tell you how she was getting the deceased people information, railroad retirees, dividends, and W-2s. Okay. But her connections, the people that she had, that she was working with, like she was purchasing ledgers from them, post office where she had P.O. boxes at. And baby, she had her sheriff on her team too. Okay, she said from the doctors, okay, the MDs, that she would buy their client patients ledgers, and with that information, she got everything she need to file taxes. And she said, baby, I done paid off child support, student loans, the IRS. She was doing the Lord's work. Okay, at the DMV, she was also getting information from driver's license here in Florida. Okay. The post office, she had a P.O. box there. She had somebody on her team at the post office, and she had a sheriff. Oh, but her sheriff was her lover too, right? But she did have a sheriff on her team. So she had a diverse baby connection, at one point in her scheming life, in her scamming life, baby. Okay, so these people were selling, I said, patient information, driver's license information. So she was just making so much money. At one point, she said she would have like multiple H&R Block cards, multiple TurboTax cards, and they would have like $100,000 balances on these cards. I said, baby, you live in a ghetto Cinderella lifestyle. Let me see what I see. Janetta in the chat. Hey, Janetta. Heck, I scammed my granny before. Oh, Lord. Chick, we may be cousins. All with a separate crate education. Hey, Muffin. This is what happened to untapped potential in our hood. That's true. She had money making sense and did. Chick-fil-A guy, I need to borrow your grandma and some twins for my taxes. Yeah, Chick, give us one of them babies. Okay, Janetta, I have some family members who did this. They owe over $1 million in restitution. But the doctor's office didn't get fed time. Baby, she said she don't snitch. Thank God she never got my info. Oh, she deserved that time. She had more than 10 good players. True. No, I'm just reporting, okay? I'm just the messenger. But the one thing I will say about her, even though she was living a ghetto Cinderella story, rags to riches, where she came from being homeless, she purchased her a home. She did have, the dope boy cars with the big rims. Y'all saw some of the the videos, and she was taking care of her 6 siblings. She was, doing some good with the money. um, and she still had her club promoting business too. She purchased a house, the home that she was living in, that where she was arrested at, she had the pool. She purchased that home. Well, she was purchasing that home for $200,000. She said she put like $40,000 down on her house, and she would pay like 10, 20,000. Like she was paying money, so she could hurry up and pay it off. But she was doing one of those rent to own type of mortgages with a person that she met in the club that owned the club. He also was a realtor. But baby, I don't know what had happened with him. But of course, she went to jail. She spent $30,000, y'all, on her 1-year-old at the time birthday party. Okay. She had the zoo. It was a whole carnival. It was a big shindig down in Tampa. So she was spending money on her kids too. Oh, the judge name was James Moody. I did write that down. And she did make mention in one of the videos that I watched that she was doing an interview on, and she said out of all this things that she was doing illegally, she only had one incident where someone tried to rob her. It was a home invasion. She was home, her kids was home, her dad was out of jail and was staying with her, and one of her friends was there, and they kicked the door in, but neighbors saw them. They looked suspicious, and they had already called the police. So by the time they came into her home and was trying to rob her, the police was like already on the way. And she said her dad, also had called the police, but she didn't keep money. She didn't have a safe or anything at her house. So they kind of left with like purses and jewelry, like material things. The police ended up not getting them on the scene, but they left the drive-away vehicle, which was one of the robbers' mom's minivan, baby. So they were able to connect to him, through his mom vehicle, baby, the minivan, baby. There, but she said they didn't hurt her or anything like that. She felt like it was somebody she knew. It probably was an inside job, but that was the only like scary incident that she had, because she was so flashy. She was on social media. She did have, nice jewelry, nice car. She lived in a nice neighborhood. That was the only incident that she had, had far as with the streets. I'll say with the streets. I think I done went through majority of my notes. Let me see. Oh, and then we may skip to the part to how she got caught. And then we got another video. Okay, yep. So sis was making big money. She said she was even going to Atlanta, y'all. She the reason y'all the scam capital now. Y'all took the name from us down here in Florida. She said she would even go to Atlanta. She said Atlanta has one of the biggest was it Salvation Army? What was it? she said they had one of the biggest I want to say Salvation Army is what she said. I didn't write it down, but she said there used to be a lot of homeless people out there, and that she had even came to Atlanta recruiting the people. Okay, she getting that information, giving them whatever she wanted to get them, and then come back to Florida with her cards. And she did say also that she would move the money from the TT cards, and which is TurboTax, in the H&R Block cards, and put them on a preferred card. So if she did go into a store like Miss E mentioned, the shoe store that she used to work at, her name would actually be on the card instead of, John Doe or Jane Doe. So she has started doing that. I wanted to mention that to tell you guys about that. I don't know though if it was Salvation Army or Goodwill in Atlanta. I can't remember now, child. I ain't write that down. I need to go back to the deceased people because I forgot to tie that up too. I mentioned earlier that one of her scams too was deceased people, and how she was getting the deceased people information. Ancestry.com. Some way you could go on Ancestry and pull people's information. She figured it out. Somebody, gave her the tea on it. And that's how she was able to get people that were dead information and file taxes under their name. Oh no, it refreshed on me. Here we go. Everybody was eating in Tampa but me. That's a good thing, Miss E. She went overboard. Yeah, she deserves some time. Okay, daughter went to get her PH. PH? Is that supposed to be PhD? I think she had 2 kids. Yes, at the time of the home invasion, she did have 2 kids. I'm reporting, you just listening. Thank you, baby. Good girl. She was doing the Lord's work. She was paying his house off. Hey, Eve has many faces. Hey, Sherry with the IE. She was much better scamming than I'm not. Listen, I'm taking a break from that store today. Big timing and was. She must have been taking care of the neighborhood because everything was on the court. Baby got his mama van confiscated, and of course, when they ran the van information, you done left mama minivan. You told mama you was running to the store. You done went and picked the homies up and trying to rob somebody. And left it. Like, you weren't supposed to leave your mama van. I can't knock her. She enjoyed it while it lasted. Yay, it's downtown. So that's how they were able to get him. But guess what she said? When it was time for to go to court, she didn't show up. So she didn't show up because she felt like, I feel like she felt like I'm already doing wrong. I wasn't hurt. So I'm not going to show up. I just let him get street justice. Even though she was a fraudster, she seemed to be fair with people. Yeah. The Salvation Army, it looks like a little campus. Okay, so it's the Salvation Army. Thank you for my people in Georgia. Because I couldn't remember if it was the Salvation Army or the Goodwill. And this was back, pre 2012. Okay. I wonder, does she have any more of these cards uninspired? That's why I don't envy people on social media with flashy cars, jewelry, and homes. They have a part for the homeless. So that's where it was then. I wasn't confident that I was saying the right name. I know a scammer who would go to the cemetery. She said that they was going through ancestry. In some type of way, you could pull data up out of there, and there is a certain time frame though from when the person passed away, that it's a small window where you can file, taxes, and you could do business before it's flagged that they're unalive, they're dead. And she was able to determine, scam that, come up with her blueprint, and she made a lot of money off of that as well. Okay, off of I see dead people. Okay, what else she said? I'm looking through my notes to see because I know I probably missed something else. Okay, I told you about all that. Okay, Latoya brought this up. I want to come back and say something about this. I'm gonna tie that part back together, and then we'll look at the video, our last video. Okay, so when it comes to the social media, she did at that time. Now this is way back. She was on Facebook. Okay, but I'm gonna come back to that. How she ended up being caught is what we want to talk about, baby. We want to talk about. All the things that I named, she seemed to have a good run. She wasn't going to jail. She wasn't, getting into any trouble. She was doing stuff from home from her computer, so it wasn't like she was out there hugging the block, and then she moved out of the hood. She was in this neighborhood where she was purchasing this home at. So she kind of was, under the radar. But y'all know, with every good woman, our downfall be a motherfucking man. Okay, she started dating this other guy. He was scamming too. They both were scammers, but he had his own operation going separate from hers. They had one kid together. Okay, and his operation, from what I did with what I gathered from the research I did, is he was doing his business at a hotel. The feds was watching him. Okay, they were on to him. They were watching him. They were had him under surveillance. 40 days and 40 nights. He was not aware, that the feds was on to him. They were trying to get, build a case on him so they can indict him under the RICO. So they have been doing RICOs with financial crimes before 2022. Okay, and they would follow him to this hotel, and they would see a lot of activity at the hotel. Now they thought he was selling drugs, but when they ran up in the hotel room, they said it was a whole, like, it was like a call center. Everybody sit up in there with computers, and they was doing fraud, scamming credit cards as well. Well, they busted the operation. They arrested him. But baby, they forgot to get a damn warrant. So they threw that out because on the technicality, because they got happy, baby, and ran up in there, but they forgot to get a warrant signed by the judge. So to me, that should have been a red flag for her, but I think she thought because they didn't commingle their scams that it was gonna be okay for her. I don't know. So they kept on scamming, taking trips, buying things, but now they're watching him and they live together because again, they go together now. They go together and they have a kid. So they're still watching him because now they got to start off from scrap, and they mad and they want to make sure they arrest him. So they run up in her house, okay, with a warrant for him, and that's how they found out about First Lady tax fraud. Okay, that's how they found out about her. They were watching him had him under surveillance. When he was able to beat the case, under the technicality, I don't know why they didn't stop. I don't know why they kept it going. Like, why they didn't try to lay low, I don't understand it. They were still going along. They went to Vegas. They was still buying designer, clothing, handbag. They were still being flashy. I'm not sure she's being completely honest about P.O. Box. The real deal is the way they were paying off carriers to give the checks, not using P.O. boxes. I work on some of those cases. This was back in the early 2000s, Eve. Of course, things have changed now, but these criminals be so sophisticated. I don't put nothing past them. I have her to do my 2025 taxes, baby. Don't do it. A small window. They passed January, April. So I heard, baby, she gave that time frame, but I listen. Lady T-Bug is a reform ghetto hood chick. It seems that they know right away when the people pass LC, my bro passed in March, and SSI knew immediately. Listen, Londo, listen, I ain't going that far. Solo Bolo, the way to go. What goes up must come down. But I'm gonna tell y'all, they never caught my girl. I'm gonna represent Florida. I'm gonna represent the city girls. I'm a reform Florida city girl. Okay, they never caught her. All the stuff I mentioned she was doing, y'all listen to this clip from the news. Y'all saw how she was living. This ain't the Trap Queen TV show. I went and dug down and found some blurry pictures for y'all so y'all can see it on y'all own. Okay. A ninja bought my girl down. Y'all must have turned the unalive certificates in right away. If they not on assistance, gotta be because they in the system. Again, y'all, this is early 2000s. Not like the African setup. Maybe they better now since she was caught. Yeah, because remember she's out now. She did 12 years in prison. Okay, if a P.O. box, then they pay off the clerks. The rules prevent delivery. Baby, if everybody getting paid and they got a scam, nobody's following the rules. That's how people get caught. They breaking the laws and the rules, honey. If they follow the rules, we won't have a problem, right? Had for the insurance company to pay out the benefits. Them $250, baby. That was mentioned in some of the research I did, but I ain't going through all that. Just greedy, Gabby girl, shaking my damn head. The greed of money be the good to stop, right? Because they had money, stacked up. And to me, when you hot, you lay low. You lay low. Check where my hood girls at, where my city girls at, where my ghetto girls at. One thing, this is where the police rule come in. Like when she had the home invasion, when you know that you living dirty, riding dirty, and you a scammer, you don't call the police, okay? We don't call the police. And if the police come because somebody else called them, you say, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have an issue here. There's no crime to report, right? Because you don't want them folks snooping around your house and trying to figure out, well, why are they breaking up in your house? Who you? What you doing with this nice shit? Where you work at, okay? So you don't call the police for those purposes, okay? Next, if you know the police is watching you, you act like it. You don't keep committing crimes. You gonna have to go legit. You gotta lay low. You gotta figure something else out. Live off maybe the money that you got. Get a job. I don't know, because the people is watching. Let me tell you how they did her, y'all. Okay, this was during Facebook social media time. She said somebody sent her a Facebook request, but they ain't have no profile picture. They just had money. You know how a lot of people have their little money spread. And so she was like, during this time, like, okay, she messing with NFL players, rappers, NBA players. She ain't trying to mess with no broken from the hood, right? So somebody jumped in there, they showing money, they look flashy, but she never saw the person, right? It's because they only had money on the profile. They would just post, thirst trap pictures. So she said this person started messaging her, inboxing her, asking her to take on a date, getting her hair done, all of this stuff, right, y'all? Y'all, he took her on a date, okay? Got her hair done. Guess where their date was? It was at the Pow Pow range. Now, y'all know my girl a felon, right? You know my girl a felon. Why he was an undercover police FBI agent, baby. And she was like, afterwards, she could see how he was and how she got played with that situation. And she caught her on Pow charge because of that as well. Okay. So she got set up messing around with the undercover FBI agent that reached out to her on Facebook. She also said her Facebook page got hacked. And people was on there sending messages like, hey, I'm Rashida, the queen of IRS tax fraud. I'm a millionaire for the record. So if you think that indicting me will be easy, it won't. I promise you, I won't do no time. Dumb biatches. So they were making posts like that to try to seem like it was her, and they used these posts and the date that she had with the undercover FBI agent against her in court as well. So they would be out there making it seem like it was her and she was being flashy. She said she's sure it was the FBI. They had hacked her account. She said every time she would try to do the recovery to get her Facebook account back, it would tell her that they sent her the password, right, to her email or whatever. She could reset it, through her email, but she would never get the link. Okay. So that was on her. She said when they went to Vegas that she saw a man that she knew that she had saw in Tampa at the club. He was an FBI agent. He spoke up in her case as well at her trial. Greed still going on for the love of money. Got to make that money, man, that money, man. When my grandma passed, they knew right away. They tried to force my grandpa to give her check back. You better lay low. They couldn't lay low because they had to keep up. No, they had money. She had money. She had cards with $100,000 balances on it. She could have laid low. Like Whitney said, you better lay low. It's all good over here, officer. Leave town. Right. Listen to your gut. She did not listen to her gut. Start working at Walmart. When they tried to warn them, Lord, the Fed sent her a friend request. The Fed set her up. Yes. Dang, she didn't know them folks. Dang, can't even go to the range. Nope, you can't you're a convicted felon. That blonde wig for me. Wow. That's why I stay off IG and Facebook. Lord have mercy. Let me put up our next video. Okay. Y'all gonna hear from Rashia, boss lady. Okay, first lady, tax. The first lady of tax fraud. Your damn self. Y'all heard enough of Lady T-Bud talking. And I do have her indictment paperwork and all that. We may have to pull that out tomorrow though. Cause sure, this video longer than I thought.
No, it don't on you.
Do not crack.
Damn. Did you work out or something?
Just eating good,
Girl, how good was you really eating? Hold up. It's federal.
This is a local DJ.
It's federal. Go ahead.
From Tampa.
TV and movies in real life. It's federal prison, peaches and cream.
I don't like that Rick
Ross
beard.
What would you consider peaches and cream?
Not wearing them nasty ass slides.
Okay.
What's going on up in prison, girl?
Maybe
Queen. You got the government name, or should I just say the first?
We'll roll with the first lady.
There it is. Yes, baby. Yes. Mama, you look good.
Thank you.
What was going on up in prison, girl?
Baby, you know black don't crack.
No, it don't on you.
Black do not crack.
Damn.
Shit.
Did you work out or something?
Just eating good, you know.
Girl, how good was you really eating? Is it? Hold up. It's federal.
It's federal. Go ahead.
Listen, you know, TV and movies.
I don't like his beard or the teeth.
It's federal prison, peaches and cream.
What would you consider peaches and cream?
Not wearing them nasty ass slides.
It depends. So basically, I've been all around the world. I've been at all the institutions, and it ain't peaches and cream, but prison is what you make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm somebody that has a backbone, and I'm from the hood, period. So
there it is.
You know, I'm gonna get in and do my thing. I'm gonna do my time. I ain't gonna let my time do me. I'm gonna dibble in here, dibble in there. You know, do what I need to do, but it just depends.
Right.
If you a lame, you ain't gonna survive. If you real, you gonna survive. If you a snitch, you definitely ain't gonna survive. So, you know.
Snitches be getting messed up out there in federal prison.
What you think?
I mean, you got state prison.
Ain't like the men, though. It ain't like the men, though.
We ain't gonna survive in jail, period.
We ain't gonna.
Listen,
the people that be, messing with the kids, them the ones that be getting.
Oh yeah. That's rule number one.
Yeah,
that goes without saying.
They kind of let the snitches get away with stuff. Yeah. In female prison, so yeah.
So you said earlier you was eating good. Was you really eating good up in there? You just had caviar and all that stuff.
What? Eating good?
Caviar.
Now, I ain't have all that now, but I was eating good. I was eating my little potato balls and my little. My little tuna bowls and all that good stuff. I was eating good enough. I ain't go hungry.
I can see that. I can see that. You've always been a survivor, though. That's the thing I love about you. And I'm loving your energy right now. And the crazy part is you've been free for a few weeks now. And I can tell right now you're just ready to live your best life.
Right. I missed too much of it. 252 months. And I'm out what? How many years early? Y'all knew I got to turn up.
How the hell did that happen? You know I had to ask that.
I'm glad because I forgot to
compassionate release. So basically,
compassionate release.
Following my case back in 2015, I went back to get resentenced, and the judge came out of retirement and gave me the same sentence. However, when I went back to court in 2015, I qualified for a 2-point reduction because they gave me this 250 victims or more enhancement, when if I was defrauding the IRS, there's only one victim, the IRS.
Girl, you need to do like other people and learn who your victims are. Your victims is also those people, dead or alive, information that you was using.
So those 2 points had to get taken off, but of course, at the time, the government was mad at me and it didn't come off. 2024, 23, they passed another law where if you was in the age of anywhere in the 20s and you committed your crime, they passed this 281, some type of statute. I don't remember it, but.
Hold on. I need to change my internet. A letter. You get a letter saying that to use this so you won't go to jail. Use this if you be questioned. Yeah, baby, she from the hood with a 7th grade education in, Florida. No, I stopped there. I don't know, maybe my internet. Oh, crap.
And to get where you at and then go through the BS.
Hold on, I gotta go back.
Who else? I had a lot.
Let me see. Let me go back. We're not gonna watch it all.
What clubs were you really doing on your promotions?
You want to go out and watch
281,
Okay, it's
at me,
something right here
and
with his video.
points had to get taken off. But of course, at the time, the government was mad at me and it didn't come off.
Okay, so y'all can
2024, 23, they
y'all
passed
can't hear the
another law
video.
where if you was in the age of anywhere in the
Oh, okay, it's
20s and you
playing on my
committed your
side. Hold
crime,
on, y'all. Let me take it down and come bring it back up. Hold on. Oh, is it back working? Okay, y'all. I gotta bring it back up. I think it's his video because I put it up on my phone. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll past, but the reason that she is out is because of what did she call it? In 2023, they passed 2 laws. One law. Let me bring it back up because y'all can hear, but it's
qualified for a 2-point reduction because they had me like, they gave me like this 250 victims or more enhancement, when if I was defrauding the IRS, there's only one victim, the IRS. So those 2 points had to get taken off. But of course, at the time, the government was mad at me and it didn't come off. 2024, 23, they passed another law where if you was in the age of anywhere in the 20s and you committed your crime, they passed this 281, some
not
type
the
of statute. I don't
statute.
remember it, but it's a youth offender statute. So that was another 2 points off. If I would have filed it and got 4 points off, I would have basically been like kicked out the door. However, Judge Moody did what he needed to do this time, and he gave me a 3-point decrease. So instead of the 4 points that we was originally asking for the youth and the money, he gave me 3 points. So that's how I'm home early.
That's what it is.
And manifesting, baby, manifesting, manifesting. And fasting.
Thank you.
I'm so skinny right now.
Yes, she is.
I am so skinny, but it's okay. It's okay. I look good. I'm gonna gain it back.
First of all, you ain't skinny because you're nice looking in all the right places.
Oh,
I'm just gonna throw that out there real quick.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let's take it
Now
back.
I'm talking about yes.
So, like, you was the queen of Tampa, man. Like, you was. I don't think people really know your backstory. If y'all have not gotten the book, The Life of a Hood Star Trap Queen.
I'm gonna have to get the book.
That,
yes, and we're gonna be tapping
Follow
in.
me.
Yeah, we're gonna get that book in a little bit. But what clubs were you really doing on your promotions at?
I did.
Concerts.
Okay, so let's talk about 2012, 2010 to 2009, 2008. Where we gonna start? So I did my promotions at Club 112, Underground, which y'all would probably call what? The garage.
Garage, but Underground first.
Underground. Did I say 112? Club Kennedy.
The Kennedy.
Boomerang.
Oh, damn.
Forgot about it. Was a lot of clubs, y'all. I can't remember. Y'all know I've been locked up since Jesus was a baby. So
Did you do Whiskey North? What about Whiskey North?
I was up there when Plies did his. I was in the club video with Plies at Whiskey North.
Mirage.
Mm-hmm. Which one is on Waters? That's Whiskey North, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Whiskey North. Uh-huh. I was everywhere. I was everywhere. I can't even remember. But what y'all can't say is what? First Lady wasn't no janky promoter. All her artists showed up and showed out. And the clubs was packed.
Sold out.
You hear me?
Damn. Who's your favorite artist back then?
Oh, like what you mean? Like who I wanted or who I liked to bring? Like you got to tell me what you got to ask me.
Did you end up messing around with a couple of artists back then?
So I ain't gonna. So basically, let me tell y'all the tea, right? I don't like artists I like their manager or their brother or their uncle, cause they be too bougie, but they right here, man, make just as much money as they make.
And the decision.
So I don't really do the artist thing, cause y'all they be having a big head, and I got the big head already. So two people with the big head gonna clash. So let me just get the manager or somebody like that. But I'd rather not tell about the artist. Y'all go buy the book.
Where's
and y'all read it
from?
for
Is she
yourself.
from Florida?
Woo! Oh, the nitty gritty is in the book, my boy. So what artists, if I remember correctly, you had Plies. You mentioned Future, Yo Gotti.
OJ the Juice Man, Trina, Young Dro. I fuck with them. What they Dunk Riders? All of them came up and showed out for my birthday bash. Who else? I had a lot of artists that I said, yo, how I did my shows back then. Anytime that it was somebody popping that was hot at the time, I just hurry up and book them.
Right.
So when Juice Man first came out with that,
boom,
how it go?
It was in Tampa. Everything she's talking about is in Tampa. Nothing is in Atlanta.
Really, clap your hands, hey. So I had to go grab them real quick. And that quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, hey. So I go grab them when they get hot. So anybody hot, y'all know I'm on them.
Hey, it's just
girl.
Like y'all on me because I'm hot. Hello.
Yeah, she's still hot with it. Yo, so you mentioned the Kennedy earlier. That was a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That was a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So which club did you actually got? Like you was like, you let loose when you.
No, I said where she's from.
Like, you had your people around you. Like,
not where she is. Not where she's from.
Live in this moment.
He do look like a caveman.
Meaning like when I was like
in the club situation, like on your promo,
the Juice Man that she sung the song about.
Yeah. Like I had to let the club go, or like just you gotta ask the right question.
No, I meant as if you were just having fun that night. You was living that moment.
Every club. I live.
Y'all
show up. I love me a strip club too. Listen. I don't think I ever threw out less than 20 racks at a strip club a night. Never. Follow me, Google me, never, ever. That's why every time I walked up in KOD, they'd be like, one time for First Lady ENT. I said, damn, I'm a celebrity? Nah, they just want my motherfucking money.
Well, hold on, you made it rain. Listen,
no. Correction. I didn't make it rain. I made it hurricane.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
okay,
Miss Hurricane. I think we should
Hurricane.
give her your name now, Miss Hurricane, because I know you can get back in the strip club on down the road. Hold on, real talk. What got your ass into stripping?
So I started dancing when I was probably 17 with an ID that say I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think I got into dancing because I was a young mother at the age of 14. So I had 2 kids and I had to go get that bag. I've been hustling since day one.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've had a very interesting life since you was born. You know what I'm saying? So to go through the struggle and to get where you at and then go through the BS, what was like the life learning lesson of all that for you?
Okay, so we can take this 2 different ways.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna answer this question, but with a question somebody asked me. They used to be in prison. They used to be like, First Lady, when you get out of prison, would you do fraud again? I say, what? So for the first 3 years, I was undecided. And then I was like, fraud? Because I was in denial that I had
Me
that much
too.
time.
Let her talk.
So it was like, okay, will I do fraud again? I ain't doing 21 years, so let me see. Then I'm like, hell no, I ain't touching them people money no more. Because
thank you, Sherry.
Like people get it
so that's probably
like
why
I did this and I did that, and I was being flamboyant and I was doing that. Like I had to.
Okay, let me pause her. So that's probably why Miss Boss Lady, First Lady remind people of, because Tampa, Miami, South Florida, they probably have the same mannerisms. You gonna watch her episode tonight?
Like, it was so many different life changes that I had to endure growing up. So it was like the things that I did, I had to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, oh, somebody just showed me a tax fraud scheme, so I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna defraud the government because it's just a scheme in front of my face and that's what I wanted to do. No, that's what I had to do. Like, my mom, everybody know, y'all read the story, watched Trap Queens. My mom was on drugs. My dad was in prison, RIP. He just died a few months ago.
Sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. So it was just like, my mom was on her drugs or whatever. It was 7 women in the house. Like, neither one of us had our daddy. So it's like, I couldn't give my family or my kids the life that I did not have growing up. So I had to basically live like the Carters. So that's just what I did.
That's crazy. Oh, man.
But no, I would not ever, never, ever play with Uncle Sam again.
That part.
No.
That goes without saying, though.
Because it's like,
that goes
just
without saying.
sit back and just look at all the people throughout the years that have got indicted or
Hey, Sonya Boobs.
Some people get indicted and don't get prosecuted, and just look at it. And you take someone like me that didn't really know any better. Like, I didn't know no better growing up. I went to prison with a 7th grade education level. And y'all give me 252 months on basically my first offense. Like, I never been to prison, never did a day in the county jail. I've been on probation, but I never did time. And y'all say, okay, 252 months. How can you live with that? So it was like, I ain't touching on people's money no more. What? We got to pay taxes for this? Because we...
Get your paperwork before you leave, baby, so you can make sure you file your damn taxes.
So, yeah.
When tax season come around in 2026, you're like, I'm paying my taxes.
I'm paying my taxes.
I'm not messing with y'all, but I'm paying my taxes. Now, listen, I know you got a lot of crazy stories. I'm going to go ahead and tell me one of your maybe funniest crazy stories that happened in the club.
Oh.
After this,
like fights or funny?
Funny. I mean, you give me both if you want to. I'm going to sip on my tea.
Sip your tea. Let me sip mine too. Let me see.
Come on now.
Why is his big grown self sipping tea?
Aquafina. So let me see. I remember one time I was at club. What is it called? The club in Atlanta that be popping. Not Crucial.
Oh, not the Compound.
No.
Hold on, we're going back then too, so we'll figure it out.
So I was in a club one day and I was walking and it was so crowded. And I came to Atlanta with some sand. They say don't bring sand to the beach. But I came with some sand, but I had another little whoop-de-whoop too that was in the club too. So
why'd you do that?
Because
how you gonna come to the club with the man and your other man at the damn club?
I was just doing my thing. I was living. I felt like, the Carters. So I was walking in the club and I hear somebody say, First Lady. First Lady. I'm like, who is calling me First Lady way from Atlanta? And all these niggas in here like, what? Don't be what? Like, so I look up. It's Plies.
Plies.
My dog.
You should have known it was somebody local.
What's up? But look, Plies calling me, but I'm too busy looking at Floyd standing next to him.
Floyd,
So
who,
I'm
Mayweather?
Like, what the fuck is going on? They ain't say all these niggas was gonna be in the club tonight, baby. It was crowded out there. I had just got my brand new Audi, so I put that on the road. So we in the club or whatever, and Dale there, Rodell. I know y'all heard of the promoter Rodell.
Yeah.
So Rodell is there. So it's time to go out the club or whatever. So Plies like, nah, come back. Like, let's go out the back door with me. And I'm like, bitch, I'm a celebrity now. I was in love with you, but now, baby, I got my own money, baby. my groupie days is over. So it was just like the interaction, and we hugged or whatever, pineapples. But
not pineapples.
But he really thought I was gonna leave with him, and I just wanted him to know, like,
I see you in Tampa.
Like, I just paid you $30,000 motherfucking dollars for a show, and you think I'm about to go give you my stuff for free? No, ma'am. So it was just funny, like the whole interaction and how it was just like I swerved on him. But that's my dog, though, so I ain't bashing him or nothing. It's just funny as hell, because to be somebody like me growing up out the hood and always just dreamed of being around celebrities and having that moment with them, or to be able to stand on the stage next to them, and to being miles away, and you get acknowledged by a millionaire, was like, oh my God, this is me? What, he calling me? So it was just like, it was funny. It was cute.
No, that was.
Yeah.
All right, what's the crazy thing that happened to you while you was locked up in prison?
The craziest thing? So this is actually the craziest thing that happened to me. So a few months ago, actually, when I found out I was leaving, my homegirl got in a fight with this stud broad. And the stud broad, she got her ass whooped. You know, she fought this big old cornbread fed motherfucker from Texas. That was a big old motherfucker. So the stud broad, she go get a lock. She said, yeah, because anybody can get it. But I'm like, anybody can get it. Like, you just got it. Like, you just got. She was like, anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. And you too, bitch. Bah! And just hit me in the face and split me with a lock. And I was like, oh, hell no. And it's like, I ain't even think I can fight so hard. But when you fighting I was fighting for my life. I knew I had my date. So, but everything was good and I'm out. But that motherfucker tried to take my date.
They try to do that when they know you're going to get out.
After all this time I've been locked up, you trying to take my date.
You know,
weird.
We see this stuff in movies all the time. Is it actually true that, you know, when people know that somebody's about to get out, they try to like?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Mm-hmm. When you're somebody that's very envious, and I want to say I can't do it, but yeah, it was so weird because the person name, like, I ain't gonna give y'all the name, but it's like his name is named like money, like you got money, like money or whatever. But then this nigga, you only got $28 in your account. So what? Like, it was weird. Like, so why were you really mad at me? But yeah, that was the craziest shit I went through. And she said, slam that gavel. Everybody started fading.
Damn.
I had friends that I did yacht parties for, and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. Ain't nobody hold me down. They probably sent me some money.
Yeah, big.
Hey, listen, I know you guys be going to the club or hanging out with your friends, and sometimes you're over drinking.
They doing it's not right, but other than that, hell, that was it.
Hold up, I had another question in mind, but you just changed the whole thing right now. The pen pal situation. I didn't even think about it till you just said it.
Now y'all know. So me and this girl, she's my little artist. Her name Bijou.
Mm-hmm.
And we came up with this name for our group because I be rapping and stuff and she be singing. And it's called Fed Fetish. Because we like, for some reason, men have a fetish for fed women in prison all the time.
We heard
so they be reaching out.
about that.
Take care of you, but why not? I thought I was gonna find me an old white man, though, a real sugar daddy, so I can get his wheel, but I ain't come across one of those. So
she sound like Sierra now. Come on, sir.
Approach yet?
Nah, I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
The funny part, you picked up exactly up there. It is.
So they ain't finna keep calling us the drop city. Be all in prison. And people be like, where you from? Tampa. You must be in here for fraud. Of course, you don't know who I am? Like, the fuck? So I be like, yo, you know, like, that's all they say about Tampa. Fraud.
Yeah.
So, like, why we can't have like,
Uh-uh.
why we can't be a drug dealer's wife or something? Like y'all immediately say fraud, and I don't like that no more. That's over with. I'm trying to go corporate. Y'all gonna help me get there?
Or we gonna help her get there? That's what's going on the socials. Is it an iPhone or Android? Which one? Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. But I still can't really eat yet because I'm.
Forget there. That's the question. Girl, did anybody recognize your ass while you was locked up?
Oh my God, yes.
Did they say, hey, is that the test queen?
Oh my God, yes.
You was famous up in that bed.
Yes, yes. Oh my God. So the whole entire time that
I
I've
am
been
skipping around. Y'all can see me dragging it, can't you?
Been in Florida. I just made it to Florida, so I ain't smelled the Florida weather, the air. So when I got off that flight, I was like, I'm back in Florida.
You're not talking about nothing.
So I had went to Tallahassee. So when I made it to Tallahassee or whatever,
that's where I am, Tallahassee, Florida.
I was like, damn, like I'm home now. So it's just like it felt good, you know?
Yeah. You know what? Hold on. Let's really talk about this real quick. So you've been in prison for a while. And there's a debate that's going on the socials. Is it?
Yeah, this lady just got home. She ain't worried about no iPhone, no Android, none of that. He just up here, like y'all said, being a damn groupie. Okay, let me see. I think this was her co-conspirator he finna ask her about.
Flamboyant chick holding up this money. Learn the story behind this flamboyant chick that's holding up this money. And I just basically just jumped in the first deal that was presented to me at the time.
Right.
Just to get my story out there.
Did you make money off that?
I wrote the book. It's my book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know some people get a bad deal, so I don't see you getting a bad deal, but I still had to ask that question.
Nah.
Please don't zoom in on him.
Okay. Okay. Are you still affiliated with Maurice?
I'm not. No, I don't want to talk about Maurice. No comment.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I figured that much, but I had to ask.
Maurice is her co-conspirator who they was actually, looking at, had under surveillance. She said she don't want to talk about him. So I'm gonna stop it right here. I'll link the interview. Y'all can go and watch it in its entirety. Because he really just asking a lot of crazy questions, nothing that really I hadn't discovered through doing other interviews. But this is her. She's out. This is what she's giving right now. She looked pretty dressed down with a hat on, no makeup, just her wig. She's been out for a few weeks when he did this interview. I would definitely link it. Okay. Let me show y'all her indictment papers, and then we're going to end the live. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll be back to our regular scheduled program, Nesto. But today, I'm taking a break from him. This is one of her paperwork. This is, we talked about this earlier, about the pow, y'all. That she caught this case on that date, baby, with old boy. He took her to the pow range, and they used this in her indictment because she was a felon. He got less time than her. He got out before her, but I'll go back and check it, Miss E, because they made her the lead on this. They made her the mastermind. So he was her co-defendant, okay? And they made her, the number one person in the RICO case. I believe he got out like within 5 years or something. I did look at some of his information, but Miss E, I be man hating and bashing. He needs to work on his interview skills. Right. I couldn't take it. That's why I was skipping through it. Okay, so y'all, this is felon possession of a pow class C felon from the gun range, baby, from the pow range. I done slipped up and said it. United States of America versus Rashia Wilson, United States District Court, Middle District of Florida, Tampa Division. He did my girl dirty. And here's her Judge James Moody. He's the one that, you know, gave her the 21 years. He came off of retirement, retired to the bench, put his robe on every time she was up for release to uphold her sentence. Okay. So I wanted to show y'all that one. Okay. And they end up running her sentence for this, and her indictment was initially like 41 count indictment. They end up running her running these together concurrent. They ran them together, so she didn't have to like serve one part of her sentence and then come out and serve the other part. Is that the same one? Okay. Here's her 7-page indictment. Yeah, he got way less time than her. They made her the mastermind behind everything, and like he was her co-defendant. He probably snitched on her. That's why she don't want to talk about him. Okay. In the U.S. Courts of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, the U.S. of A against Rashia Wilson. Okay. I'm not gonna read it word for word, but just to show y'all. Let me put my thing up, chill. And remember, she said she pled guilty, right? She put herself at the mercy of the court, you know, per her attorney. Because her attorney assured her, you know, if you go ahead and, you know, plead guilty, that's gonna look good, and you only gonna get probably like 5 years. Okay. She pled guilty to 2 accounts. She only pled guilty to 2 accounts of her 57 count indictment. I don't know why I thought it was 40. I think I'm mixing it up with y'all know who. Okay. So 2 out of 57, 55 was returned. Dang, girl. And she got 21 years. And here's Maurice J. Larry. Okay. She said she don't want to talk about him. Count 3, wire fraud commitment. Committed on April 21, 2012. And then they got the statute, identity theft, same day. Okay. So that's her co-defendant. So they're both on the same indictment. Y'all familiar with that now. Okay. Wilson pled guilty to 2 counts, right? The pow on August 12th, September 19th. Her case was consolidated. And she got consecutive sentences, 210 days, 24 months, for a total of 234 months. And it says the district court commits procedural errors when it's improperly calculated the guidelines. So they found the error But the judge resentenced her to the same sentence. He came back, and she had to sit there until those 2 laws passed. And this was in 2014, y'all. So she just got out. So she came back 2 years later because there was a error with her sentencing, and he resentenced her to the same thing. Okay. So if it wasn't for these 2 statutes, these statutory laws, she would still be in there. And this is a federal case, not a state case, just in case anybody was wondering. Yeah, right here. where it is unclear whether the court will have imposed the same sentence, but for the error is not harmless. Okay. We therefore vacate Wilson's sentencing and remand the case for resentencing, which she got the same sentence, but she's out now. Okay. I want to show y'all those documents. Let me get back over here to the chat. You're welcome. Cause remember, don't do our DJs like that, baby. He was doing too much. So did he get charged in any of the crimes? I just read his crimes that he was charged for. They baptized. Yeah, they baptized my girl. These are his charges right here that he was charged for. That's all I got. Y'all drop any last thoughts, last questions in the chat, and I'm gonna let y'all go. She's out. She's on social media on the boss lady. I keep saying boss lady. It's first lady. I'll go and find her on socials and link them. And I'll link that interview. Let me link it now before I even get off of here. If you can stand it, go over and watch the video in its entirety. Rashia, Trap Queen, First Lady of Tax Fraud from Drop City, Tampa, Florida. You know, I wish you well. I'm glad she learned her lesson. I missed the beginning. When did she get out? Move this. And don't forget, if you're going to be watching Trap Queen, the new season begins on tomorrow. So I will be watching Trap Queens and Divorced Sisters on tomorrow. I got me 2 shows that I actually like. And then I'll come back. I'll give a recap of Trap Queen and Divorced Sisters on Friday. This was a good one. I'm going to keep up with her since I live in Drop City. Yeah, crime does not pay at the end. This year, yeah, this year. She got out this year. Yeah, crime don't pay, but I understand why she took the route she took. You know, I don't know how it feels not to have, family support, stable home, and a mother that, that's nurturing, guiding, and parenting. Because although I did grow up in the hood, in the projects, You know, my mom was momming. She was momming. She did 12 years. So I would say 12 years is a lot of time. Yeah, 12 years. And the only reason that she's out is because of those two them two statutory laws that were passed. 12 years is a long time. I'm gonna go watch her extended interview. Okay. Educating herself on fraud and scams, Georgia Peach, and she was a teen mom. Yeah, she had 2 kids. By the time she turned 18, she already had 2 kids. She had the one that she found out she was pregnant with in the juvenile detention center, and then she had another child after that. She had 2 sons. But what she actually did, it wasn't that long. Yeah, 12 years is long for me. I'm sorry, baby. A decade. I haven't seen anything about her education. I haven't seen anything about it. Somebody else asked that earlier. I made a note to see if I could find something, but I don't know. She did 12 years and 9 months, so she almost did 13 years in prison. Oh, and her charges were like wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, the pow possession. Those was her 3 charges. Of course, she pled down to 2, and the other 55 was removed, and she still got 21 years in prison. And her downfall was a damn ninja. Like, what's up with these men? 12 days is too long for me. Yeah. For what I'm getting from this is that the South is still trying to punish us for crimes they commit themselves and for being free. Yeah, one day is it's too long for me. Okay. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna wrap up the interview. The interview, like I'm interviewing her. I'm gonna wrap up the live. I will see y'all tomorrow. I think she is on probation, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Vicky. I'm gonna just say I don't know. Good night, Jackson. I'll see you in the morning at Pine Nation if we be up and over there. I'm sick of this. I'm not sure, Vicky, about the education or the probation. 12 minutes is too long for me. Good night, Sherry with the IE. I'm sick of her. I've been having to find something to listen to her while I get ready for work. Good night, Latoy. I'll see if I can find something though, Vicky. And I watched shit about damn 5 different ones. I had actually not watched that one that I felt like since it was local that we'll watch it together and that he was gonna be asking, but child, he was just a damn groupie. I hope he don't be acting like that when he be interviewing men's. Okay, so I'll look, Vic. Thank you, Nestos. Sure. Thank you again. I said what I said. Thank you, Mods. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Bush Gang. Thank you, Replay Gang. I appreciate it. No, I don't watch coverage on that. Kids, you know how I feel about kids. I can't watch that. Mm-mm. Maybe he thought she was cute. She a local celebrity. I can't watch. I made an exception for Lori Page, but that's where it opened and that's where I closed the door at. I can't do it. I can't do the crimes against kids. All right, y'all. I'm about to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I was wait, because it's a little y'all comments come in slower than me. He wanted her to lay the blueprint for the fraud. Well, she is doing that in interviews, but he wasn't asking the right questions, okay? Because I watched about 5 different interviews that she's doing. Oh, before we leave, I will say she said she working with somebody on doing her a movie, and I think it's 50 Cent. I think it's 50, y'all. Oh, my name. Wait a minute. In LA, in New Orleans. No, I had not seen that, baby. I thought you talking about that other man with the little girl. Oh, Vic, I'm finna message you over on IG. We gotta talk. I need that tea. Now I'm really leaving this time, y'all. I thought she was talking about that other man because in my mind he back in jail, so I checked him off. I'm sorry, Vic. Thanks for the clarification, baby. Because I was like, oh hell no, not with the one with the little girl. Oh no. All right, y'all. I'm leaving for real this time. Bye. I don't have nothing to exit us out. Oh, do him.